Yo, what's up, guys? Icy here, and welcome to my second ever NBA video. I got a good response from yesterday's video, so I hope people enjoyed it. I hope I helped people make some picks and make some money, and hopefully I can help you guys do again so today. So before I get started, just like, comment, and subscribe, please. Let me know what I could do better. Let me know who's your favorite play, who's your favorite pick. Who do you think is going to be the best point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center on this slate? It's a 4-game slate. Let me know if you think someone's going to be a dud. Personally, I think that LaMarcus Aldridge is going to be a dud. Nah, I don't. I'm just kidding. I don't really know who's going to be a dud. I kind of like LaMarcus Aldridge today in this matchup with DeRozan back. But yeah, I'm just going to get into it. I'm going to go over teams individually. I'm going to go over every spot on the team and to give you guys some background knowledge on the players I remember from last year. So let's start with the Spurs. They already played one preseason game already. Dejounte Murray is coming back from an injury after a whole year off. He started off exactly where he left off. He was popping off. Him and Bryn Forbes really took turns popping off that game. So both of them are in play for me here. And then Derek White's also in play for me here. Keep an eye on the Patty Mills news because he's questionable, but between the three of these guys, Dejounte Murray, Derek White, and Bryn Forbes, I think the first two are the starters on this team, and Bryn Forbes, the guy off the bench. However, on any given night and Pop's rotation, all three of these guys are in play, and because of these reasons, I expect all three of these guys to be trying at the peak of their abilities to perform, even in a preseason game. So, I like all three of them. I like DeRozan as well because he's coming back from an injury. Not an injury, he just didn't play last game. DeRozan didn't play last game. He was a late scratch. So I like DeRozan here as well. 6,600. He's probably going to see 20, 25 minutes. He's a guy that's somewhat competitive and performs better with no spotlight. And there's no spotlight in a preseason game. He's up against a Miami team in Miami against his friend Jimmy Butler. If Kyle Lowry and DeRozan are best friends, then DeRozan and Butler are second best friends, okay? So I like that. I expect him to ball out against Jimmy Butler. I like Looney Walker. He's a guy that should play a key role for the Spurs off the bench. They're really high on him last year. Look for him to get some extended run here in preseason. He's one of the guys that should be playing after all the stars are benched, so I like him for that reason. Rudy Gay is a vet, and I don't like playing vets in preseason. They could go off for sure, but not for me. But you should have him in your consideration. He could go off, but there's a lot of other guys at this price range that I'd rather pay for. LaMarcus Aldridge, I don't really know if I'm going with LaMarcus Aldridge here. He's another vet, and I don't think Pop overutilizes him here in preseason and risk an injury, so I don't really like him. And Poto's someone I'd consider. He's another guy off the bench that should see extended run in preseason to get him in form early. So I like Poto. But yeah, not really too hot on anybody on the San Antonio side. Dejounte Murray would probably be my guy. Moving along to the Miami Heat side. So the Heat have Dragic. Dragic is great. He's not injured, and he should be in play at this price, especially 100% Dragic's in play. Justice Winslow as well at this price range should be in play. Power point guard, small forward eligible. So definitely in play. I don't really know about any of these other guys here, so I'd stay away. But Jimmy Butler, 100% at this price locked in. This guy's been in the gym since at 3 a.m. in the morning. Expect him to ball out. Tyler Hero is someone that the Heat have been really high on since they've signed him. They've loved what they've seen from this kid, and I expect him to get extended run in preseason just to get his feet on the ground. Derek Jones Jr. is another guy that's a high flyer that when given an opportunity last season showed that he could play. I don't know how much of that is in preseason, especially with Tyler Hero and Dion Waiters and Justice Winslow. So I think they might all spread the minutes a little too thin here, but I would probably go with Tyler Hero here. Jimmy Butler for sure. Justice Winslow is also a good pick because all these guys are ballers, right? Justice Winslow likes to shoot. He can go off. Butler can go off. Waiters is a hit or miss type of guy, but he can go off. So all these guys are in play here. Just keep an eye on the news. Follow Twitter. follow my Twitter. I post like as soon as I get information, I try to post it. So keep an eye on that. But yeah, just try to figure out which guy is gonna play the most minute. If any one of these guys are gonna be restricted, and then try to work around there. I like all three of these guys, to be honest. But if I was to pick based on extended run and price, it would probably be Butler and Tyler Hero. These guys are more uncertain. Butler's safe, and I know Tyler Hero is gonna get a run. So I like him. And then moving to the power forward slot, you got Bam Adebayo, Myers Leonard. I call him Mayonnaise. Did good in the playoffs last year for Portland. Came through for them. And Bam Bam, Big Bam Bam is the reason why they got rid of Whiteside. This guy is a stud. He's consistent throughout the season last year, as you can see. Expect him to carry that this season, including preseason. So look for him to start where he left off. But yeah, that's it for Miami side. I don't really like anybody else. I don't think Kelly Olynyk plays. If he plays, I like him. He'd be in consideration. So keep an eye on the news from Miami. There's a lot of things to look at. On the Dallas side, Luka Doncic, obviously rookie of the year. Nothing much to say. But Delon Wright's a guy from Toronto. He was brought up in the Raptors organization, and this guy just killed it towards the end of last season. And I was upset when the Raptors traded him because I thought he'd be someone that'd be perfect to replace Kyle Lowry in a year or two's time when Kyle decided to hang it up. But they traded him, and rightfully so. This guy was too good to be sitting on the bench, and he showed that at Memphis last year. Now he's on the Dallas Maverick. He's going to be fighting for a spot here with Seth Curry, JJ Barea, Jalen Brunson all on the roster. Tim Hardaway Jr., Courtney Lee. So there's a lot of competition to be had here. I expect Delon Wright to stand on top of the mountain here and really show why he should be the second option offensively when it comes to the guards. But yeah, I love Delon Wright. I definitely play him. He's a guy that balls hard. He plays hard. He always tries to, show off and show up. I love Delon Wright. He'd be one of my core players of the day at this price for sure. Luka Doncic, you don't really have to say much, but Tim Hardaway Jr. is another guy. When he shows up, and he performs better when there's no pressure, and there's no pressure in a preseason game, so I like him. I don't really like Courtney Lee. I've hated him since he was at New York. He's flaky. Seth Curry recently got married, so if he's done his honeymoon phase and, maybe his wife's there in attendance, he married Doc Rivers' daughter. Awkward. But yeah, Seth Curry is, could consider him, but there's other players at this price range that are safer in my opinion. Jalen Brunson, he was a guy that Dallas went to last year. He performed amicably well. Wow, I couldn't say that word. But yeah, Jalen Brunson is someone that you should maybe consider here at this price range. He's gonna see extended run here. I don't know. They're obviously not gonna risk Luka and Porzingis for preseason game all that much. So I like Delon right here. I like Jalen Brunson here. I'd consider those two guys. And then DFS is someone I like. Dorian Finney-Smith. He has DFS initials. He's another guy that can randomly go off on a given night when he's given minutes. So I could see him dropping a 20 Draftkings point, but I don't. There's other safer plays. Justin Jackson from Sacramento last year is on Dallas now. Wow, Dallas kind of stacked in a weird way. He's someone that you could consider. Personally, I wouldn't at this price range because I think there's other players to consider. But yeah, he's someone you should consider. Justin Jackson, DFS. Definitely consider. They'll be fighting for the next man up off the bench, so I like that. KP Kristaps Porzingis, the unicorn coming off of a injury, seems like he's been gone forever. He's in play, but again, keep an eye on the news to see how much, if he's restricted, if there's a cap or whatever, like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Figure that out. The more minutes, the more I like him. But a person I really like is Maxi Keebler. This guy showed up time and time again last season when he was given an opportunity, and I expect him to continue and carry forward with that. And then Boban, I'm not really going to go to Boban. But see, Maxi Keebler, they're not really going to play KP that much, so Keebler's probably going to get a big run here and, really get to showcase his talent. OKC, Chris Paul, enough said, but it's Chris Paul. He's old and it's preseason. I don't know how much you want to risk Chris Paul here. A safer option would be Shea Gilgeous or Dennis Schroeder. Both of these guys are good. Consider both of these guys over Chris Paul, in my opinion, just because of his age. And it's preseason. Why risk it? They're probably trying to trade Chris Paul anyway, so why risk injury to your trade piece? You get me? It doesn't make sense. Terrence Ferguson is a guy that was given opportunity last year. I don't really like him today. It's always hit or miss. And then small forward, you have Gallinari, but Gallinari is injury prone too, so I don't know how much they use him. He usually goes off at the beginning of the games anyways. He's like a Kevin Love. The first quarter of the game, he's balling, and then towards the end of the game, you're like, wow, this guy still has the same score he did in the first half. Like, and then you realize that he played like 15 minutes still, and you're like, what the hell? This guy did nothing. So he's a first half player, so you could go with him. Keep an eye on his news though, because he does have an injury history, and I don't know if they end up deciding to risk him here or not. But yeah, keep an eye on him. Definitely in consideration. He can ball out. And Hamidou Diallo, was it this guy? This guy won the dunk contest last year, but aside from that, he doesn't have much skills that translate into team basketball. Very athletic, but nah. And then you got the power forward spot here. You got Mike Muscala. I call him Mike Muscala, but it's Mike Muscala. I don't like this guy that much, but he's shown that when given an opportunity, he takes it, and he's consistent with it when he's getting minutes. I expect him to get around 24, 20 minutes, so he's in play for me, especially considering Gallinari's flaky injury history. And another guy from Toronto that I liked was Eric Moreland. I saw him play 4 or 5 times for a few minutes. He usually came at the end of the games. But a real workhorse, a powerful player. Hopefully he gets a shot at the Thunder here and a chance to prove himself. But for the sake of a GPP or a cash game, I wouldn't play him. Like, I might play him for a GPP, but hell no in a cash game. Like, no. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the OKC side. There's Steven Adams. I don't really like Steven Adams. Nerlens Noel. I don't really like Nerlens Noel. I really don't like Nerlens Noel. I'd probably play Mike Muscala over Steven Adams here, to be honest with you. But Steven Adams, starter. Maybe he added a jump shot. Hasn't shown it to anybody. But I like the thought of CP3 and Steven Adams. But hey, there's other centers I'd probably go to. Minnesota side, Jeff Teague, no more Derrick Rose, no more Butler. Jeff Teague. I'd say he's in play for me against Phoenix. But Shabazz Napier is another guy. I'd probably like Shabazz Napier more than Jeff Teague, because Jeff Teague's going to be playing with the starters, and Wiggins is going to want to show off. Towns is going to want to show off. Covington's probably going to want to show off. So when is Jeff Teague going to get to show off? I don't think he does. I like Shabazz Napier because he's going to come off the bench and he's going to get a good run. And this guy performs when he gets minutes, and I expect him to get minutes against the Phoenix Suns team that's trash. And they play with really high pace. I really like Shabazz Napier here. I love Andrew Wiggins. He's friends with Devin Booker's, and Andrew Wiggins only plays well when there's a reason for him to play well, like when he's playing against a friend or in Canada, or he plays up to the competition. And although the Suns suck, Devin Booker is a good friend of his, and they might have an internal competition here to see who's better. So I like both Devin Booker and Wiggins for that reason. Josh Okogie is someone they got run last year, but that's just it. He was someone that was given runs when Wiggins was injured or someone else was out. So I don't really like him for the sake of preseason today. Small forwards, you got Robert Covington, best two-way player, one of the best two-way players in the league. He had one of the best ratings last year, efficiency, when it came to shooting threes as well. A catch and shoot with the defense. The top tier, talent tier, got injured halfway into the season last year. Look for him to come back. Look for these guys to really get him going. He'd be a key part to any team's offense here. So look for Covington to get it going. And then Jarrett Culver, someone that you should keep an eye on. See the news here regarding how much he's expected to play. Jack Layman, I don't really know about Jack Layman. I mean, there was a time where I would consider him, but I'm not considering on this team. Maybe on the Portland side I would have, but not on the Timberwolves. Not this early into the season. Keita Bates-Diop is another guy that the Timberwolves went to last season for a spark and tried to get him some extended run towards the end of the season. Look for him to be a player that's on the court towards the end of the game and someone that can really set your lineups apart and keep them afloat after all your starters go off. So Keita Bates is someone I consider as a guy, one of my two guys that I usually have in these type of preseason lineups that carry my lineup after my stars are gone. I like to have 5 or 6 stars that I know will go off in the limited amount of time they have. And then I like picking 2 or 3 scrubs that I know will make the most of their opportunity. Keita Bates is one of those guys for me that I know will try and make the most of this opportunity. So he's in play for me. And being here is old. Noah Vonleh, I don't really know Noah Vonleh. He's a guy who's in play too. He can randomly go off. He's probably fighting for a roster spot here. Not a roster spot, but a place in the roster, like off the bench. It's like first team off the bench, So he's in play. And then Karl-Anthony Towns obviously in play here. Keep an eye on Naz Reid. See what they're saying about him on Twitter. But Karl-Anthony Towns at this price, I don't actually like him at this price in this matchup. I like Wiggins more than I like Towns. But yeah, it's Karl-Anthony Towns. He should be in play. There's no joker here. I think he's the most expensive player on the slate. Yep. So he's going to be highly owned. So you could either go with the flow or go against it. Either or, I don't really have a strong opinion on. I can see both working out. But it's Karl-Anthony Towns. He's one of the elite players in the league and can get it done. Alright, on the Phoenix side, D Booker, one of my favorite players to watch. Devin Booker. I love him at this price. This guy is just a shooter. I expect him to come out shooting, really set the tone for the rest of his teammates. He's someone that hasn't made the playoffs yet, and I know every year he bitches. I think this year might be the last at the Suns for him if they don't get it done. And they're not going to get it done. Look at their roster's not that great. But I like Devin Booker. He's a baller. I like Ricky Rubio, but I don't know how much they really use Ricky Rubio. I like Tyler Johnson more than I like Ricky Rubio because he's probably he's a show-off. He likes to show off. He's going to probably be on the court towards the end of the game anyways. Devin Booker and Rubio are going to be off in the first half. So I like Tyler Johnson. He's someone I definitely play. I would have been really high on Mikal Bridges if he was playing, but he's not. And then, wow. So, Dario Saric's in play, and this guy is in play, even though I don't really know him all that well. I'm going to have to learn about Cameron Johnson. These injuries put him in play for sure. If these guys are both not playing, then both these guys should see extended run. Dario Saric's obviously the known commodity. We know about him. We know if he gets hot with the three-pointers, he's a good pick. Don't really know much about this guy. I'll have to learn about him. So hold that thought. Chuck Diallo, someone that's in play here too. Definitely, especially with all the people out. He's someone that could easily just go off, especially against Minnesota. Like he could very easily just go off in a preseason game. So he'd be in play for me. And then DeAndre Ayton, last year's first number 1 overall pick up against Cat. I like the matchup here. I want to personally see how Ayton holds up against Cat here, see any changes to his game from last season. So he'd be in play, especially at a $6K price range, $3K cheaper than Karl-Anthony Towns in a preseason game. I love it. And then last game, last year's Western Conference semifinals rematch in preseason. The Joker is out, so that's the first thing you should know here. With the Joker out, honestly, this team is just filled with shooters. All 3 of these guys will probably end up with the same amount of Draftkings points. Like, I'm dead serious. Like, yeah. All 3 of these guys, they're all shooters. It's preseason. That's why Monty Morris is in play for me. When there was injuries last year and he had to fill in for the injured player, he always made the most of his opportunity, and he's someone I know that can ball. I've won money from him, so he's someone that he's in my upper echelon of favorable plays. So in the preseason game, this guy's gonna get run, probably more minutes than Jamal Murray in my opinion here. Jamal Murray has a little bit of an injury history, and why would you try and risk your injury-prone players in a preseason game? We won't. Malik Beasley is a guy that can go off as well. Safer option than Monty Morris, but Malik Beasley can definitely in play for me. Gary Harris is in play for me. Will Barton, keep an eye on Will Barton. It depends on how much Will Barton plays. He's definitely a guy that can go off. Sorry, I'm just a little sick today. It's like cold. My nose is getting stuffy. But oh man. Sorry, I'm gonna have to restart. Shooting guards, Gary Harris. I like Gary Harris. Gary Harris is someone that could very easily go off against a Portland team. He went off against them in the playoffs on certain games, so definitely in play for me at this price range. Will Barton's also in play. I'd probably play Will Barton over Gary Harris. But again, there's also Michael Porter Jr. here to consider and see how much minutes he gets. They're really, really high on him. PJ Dozier, it's another guy that could go off, but I'm not really going to be playing him all that much. I'd really like the Michael Porter Jr. play here, depending on him. But Torrey Craig's another guy that could go off. Last year when he was given opportunity, he went off. Denver is just filled with a lot of dogs, man. Like even Juan Nacho Hernando Gomez here, like Juancho, man. But to me is Juan Nacho. So Juan Nacho Hernando Gomez. Hey Holmes, what's up? Yeah, so this guy is good, they're all dogs here. Torrey Craig, Michael Porter Jr., Will Barton, Juan Nacho Hernando Gomez. He's good too. He's sick. This guy is a stud that they added. Jeremy Grant from OKC. This should be a great pickup. I'm curious to see how he's integrated into their offense here. Millsap has an injury. Millsap is very injury prone, so I like the addition here. It should give them some safety here. But Plumlee filled in well in the playoffs as a sixth man. It gave him a lot of size and depth. So I like Plumlee here too. He's in play. Joker's not playing, so definitely probably going to Plumlee here. Some Tyler Zeller, some Jeremy Grant. Look for who's starting. I'd probably prefer the guy starting the most out of the centers. And then on the Portland side, Lillard, McCollum, you don't really have to talk much about them. I don't really know about those other guys there. But Rodney Hood's someone I'd have in my consideration. He showed last year that he could go off. It's a preseason game. At this price range, I like him. I like him more than Kent Fademore. Yeah, I named him Fademore. You could probably imagine he's made me lose money on more than one occasion for him to be named Kent Fademore. I fade Kent Bazemore. I never play him. I hate this guy. Like, this guy is... Yo, man. I really hate Kent Bazemore. I don't even know what to say. You know how many times I give this guy a chance? How many times have I given Kent Bazemore a chance? Like, alright, Kent, you're playing good now. Let me pick you. Alright, boom, bust. 5 Draftkings point. 38 minutes to play. I'm like, how is that possible? But it's Kent Bazemore. So I just fade him. Kent Fademore. I don't play Kent Fademore. Rodney Hood's good. Mario Hezonja is good here. I like both these guys. They'd be in play. And then who is this? Nathan Little? What's his name? Nasir Little. Nathan. This guy this guy has a talk around him. Look I don't see him getting that much run over like Bazemore, Hood, and Hezonja, but hey, it's preseason. Zach Collins causing me nothing but problems. I made that saying up, Zach Collins causing me nothing but problems, when I didn't have Zach Collins and he was causing me problems for not having him. I love him in a preseason game here. I like him more than Anthony Tolliver. So I'd probably go with Zach Collins here over Anthony Tolliver, but Hezonja is the guy if you're small forward or whatever. Hezonja is the guy. He showed he's an explosive player. He's dunked on LeBron James, Antetokounmpo. So I like him. He's a guy that goes hard. But yeah, Zach Collins for sure. And Whiteside, I don't know. Depending on what Whiteside you get, he's probably gonna be motivated. It's his first game with his new team. He's gonna want to be on his best behavior and all that jazz. So Whiteside's in consideration. He's a point per minute monster, and especially he's gonna be up against Mason and Jeremy Grant and Millsap and Tyler Zeller. I like Whiteside a lot. Yeah, so guys, those are my picks. They're not really picks. It's just my analysis on on the slate. Personally, if I had to make a lineup, let's just make a quick lineup with you guys. So I love Butler. I'm not even gonna think about that much. Over here, I'd go with Shea Gilgeous for sure as a cheap start option. Who else do I like here? You know what? Give me some Andrew Wiggins. I will take the Andrew Wiggins. And then Andrew Wiggins. Man, this guy is priced high for no name. I'll take Maxi Kleber. Well, so like Whiteside at this price. I like Whiteside at this price. D Booker for sure. D Booker. Yeah, do we want to play Kristaps Porzingis on his first game back after a long time? Probably not. Probably not. Oh man, this is tough. It's a preseason game. You gotta think on it. You know what? Give me the Bam Adebayo. I'll take Bam Bam. And then you know what? Just to lock her up. I mean, I don't like Damian Lillard. He's been spending too much time trying to diss Shaq, right? So, I'm kidding. Towns or Lillard? I'll go with Towns. You could go either. You should be leaving salary here, guys. Like, everybody's priced weirdly. Like, it's kind of dumb to use all your salary up because they don't play full minutes. You want people like Maxi Kleber, Bam, even Shea Gilgeous that might be playing. I mean, Shea's definitely not playing towards the end of the game. He's a first team player. But these guys that are off the bench and stuff, you know what? Let me take Bam out. Let me find someone that will play better off the bench here. You know what? Actually, I don't need to. I'll stay this. Lock this in. Alright, guys. Well, thanks for joining my video. Hope you guys enjoyed the content. I will try to make a live before lock video and just go over all the last minute news and updates. I will be posting stuff on my Twitter at ICDFS. Check the comments below for my Twitter. And yeah, good luck today. Let me know what you guys think of this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. And good luck tonight. Take care. Bye-bye.